What's going on, everyone? As you can see, I got the lowrider S here and it's loaded down. It's Labor Day weekend and I decided I'm going to take a trip down to North Carolina to go visit my dad, and I plan on making another stop. I'm going to go through Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee, so it ought to be fun. This will be my first trip, my first long trip on the lowrider S, and pretty excited for it. It's going to be a long one for my first one, but I'm pretty sure I can get it done. But I'm running behind schedule, so we'll go ahead. I just had to fill up real quick, stop and get some snacks for the road, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. It's a 15-hour ride. It's like 971 miles. For a first time, it's gonna be rough, but pretty sure we'll manage. My dad has no idea that I'm heading down to see him. I'm going to kind of surprise him. But as you guys can tell, it's dark out. The pretty much isn't going to be much for you guys to see. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the GoPro off. I got 4 batteries and I got my chargers with me. So but I'll keep you guys updated throughout the trip. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, just a quick little update. I just got done fueling up, about to get back on the road. I'm 130 miles into the trip. As you can see on my GPS, I got about I don't know where it went. It was like 86 miles or something until I get to Indiana. Yeah, my reserve came on and I had like 20 miles when I stopped here. I hung out here at the gas station for a little bit, used the bathroom, stretched out a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead, get back on the road. Still got a long ways. So far, no complaints, but I'm only, like I said, 130 miles in, but we'll see how the rest of the trip goes. One last thing, as you can see, it's starting to get daylight out, so that'll be nice. Let's get back to it. Alright, so I didn't have the GoPro going, but I just crossed over into Indiana. Beautiful morning. Sunrise. I've been on the road since 3:30 this morning. I was running a little late getting out, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said before, this is my first solo ride. So far, everything's going pretty good. Also, if you guys want, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It would help me out tremendously. But as I'm riding through Indiana, first getting into it, there was some stuff around. But now that I got off the expressway, it's just nothing but flat field, cornfields. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But, it feels good to be out here, honestly. I feel really good. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, but, it is what it is. I was kind of nervous coming on this ride by myself. First long solo ride. I'm pretty comfortable for the most part. I mean, my neck is kind of getting a little sore. I mean, I have this little windshield right here on the Memphis Shades World Warrior fairing. I want to say it's the 9-inch. I could be wrong, but I think in the future, I think I'm going to go ahead and order the taller one, just to prevent neck fatigue. But really, that's the only thing that's wrong with me so far. Just trying to fight the wind. Still got 7.5 more hours left on this trip, where this is going to bring me, on this one, it's going to bring me to the tail of the dragon. A lot of you guys have probably heard about that. I've been wanting to ride that pretty much basically ever since I got my bike. well, not this one, the one I had before, the 2016 Roadster. I mentioned that before. So this is, I believe, my third year riding. I definitely wish I would have gotten to it when I was younger, but it is what it is. Hopefully that cop don't come get me. Alright, enough talking. I'm going back to vibing, listening to music. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little while. My light just came on. I'm gonna stop, get some fuel, stretch the legs out a little bit, and get some in my belly. I'm not gonna eat food. I actually made some oats overnight that I'm gonna eat before that kind of goes bad. So I just gotta rehydrate too. That's the one thing, you know, I gotta stay hydrated, especially on this trip. And I gotta take my sweatshirt off too. It's starting to get warm. As much as Subway sounds good right now, I'm not gonna do it. Probably call the wife too, let her know where I'm at. Oh. 6 hours in, I feel like I should be further along where I'm at. I have no idea why it took me to Indiana for me to cut over just to go into Ohio when I could have just went Ohio right out of Michigan. Dumb if you ask me, but it's the way the GPS took me. I was hoping to be somewhere in Kentucky by now, but not gonna happen. But I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit, stretch out, and talk to you guys soon when I get back on the road. Like I said, gonna call the wife. Alright, refueled and ready to go. 300 miles into the trip and I'm still feeling pretty good. Got some food in my stomach, water, use the bathroom. Hopefully the next time I stop I'm in Kentucky. I can only hope the next time that I get off I am in Kentucky, but we'll see what happens. It's nice. Talk to the wife for a little bit. My 3-year-old Remy. Getting back on the highway now, so alright, so I just had to stop and pull over and refuel, stretch my legs out. My leg was starting to hurt a little bit, and then I was kind of getting a hot spot on my ear from my helmet. But we are 473 miles into this trip and still have another 232 miles to go until I get to the tail of the dragon. But yeah, I fueled up. I had to get something to drink. It's getting warmer out, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Thinking should be closer to maybe halfway, if not almost to the tail of the dragon if I go. And before I stopped, I went to go take a drink of my water, and water got all over the mic, so I hope it didn't ruin it. It sounds all distorted. I had my helmet open when I had it on, because I was just gonna film stuff. And maybe it was just the wind noise making it distort. So I'm just fingers crossed that it's not messed up and all this new quality sound distorts, because I had to put a new battery in as well. But next stop, maybe the tail of the dragon, if not my dad's. So I'm gonna crank the music back up and just enjoy the ride. Well, as you guys can see, it just started raining as soon as I crossed over into Tennessee. I tried to get the sign back there, but I thought I turned my GoPro on, but I guess it didn't. And now it's just slow moving, so that's nice. Hopefully it's just a little pop-up shower, nothing too crazy. I'm actually not gonna complain. It actually feels pretty good compared to what I was riding in. So if I do get too wet, you know, that's alright. I still got a few more hours to go that I can get dried off from the wind. I will pick my feet up a little bit though, just so my pants don't get too wet. Oh. Alright, so I stayed at this spot a little longer than I wanted to. Not a big deal though. I filled up, got something to eat real quick, and then I changing the battery on the GoPro. And I seen that I was almost out of storage, so I had to pull my laptop out and then upload all the videos that I took, swap them over to my computer. It's not a big deal. So now I got a full SD card ready to go. And I got an hour, just over an hour to get to the tail of the dragon and then to my dad's. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back up on the road. So we got 43 more miles left to tail of the dragon. And total on the trip, we are at 669 miles in 11 hours. We'd probably be almost there by now if it wasn't for, I don't know what the GPS did, that whole Indiana and then taking me over to Ohio thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back on the road. This is a terrible intersection right here. Oh, and it looks like I got some rain over there too. Well, that's nice. I already went through some rain. Well, that wasn't so bad, but this part will probably be a little more trickier. It's gonna be a pretty big wide turn for this truck and the Bobcat here. Yeah, bike's full, I'm full. I was probably there for a good 20-30 minutes or so. Get the time lapse going again. It's got a full battery, so we're good. And my GoPro is, I don't think it's charging. Guess I'm not really too worried about it. So I got an hour, I think 4 hours total. I don't even know where that other cord went. I think I put it in the bag. I guess I'll just deal with it later. But to save battery, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this GoPro. If I see something worth shooting, I'll just flip it back on real quick, because I'd really like to save it for the tail of the dragon. But I'll see you guys when I get there. Got myself on a nice little curvy road. Get a little warm up before the tail of the dragon. It's been pretty curvy like this for the last 3 or 4 miles. Probably gonna have to take the ND filter off for this one. It's especially with under all the tree cover. There, that's a little better. Just throw that in the bag. Wonder what kind of bikes or cars we'll see up here. So I don't think this is it. It's awfully curvy though. Some really tight curves. Definitely get you working on your skills out here. I just have to go back and get a picture of this. Check this out. That's so cool. Wasn't expecting that. See if I can FaceTime my wife real quick. Maybe not, but I gotta keep going. It's pretty badass. I'm still 42 minutes from the actual tail of the dragon. Looks like I got a nice hairpin turn coming up. That's what I should have done. I should have got my drone out. So I'll pull the drone out for this. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I just had to get a few aerial footage. A little bit of aerial footage. On the road again. And all that comes down to a lake. Or whatever this is. Adams Creek, I think that's what that's called. Couple sport cars right there that just went by. Heading back to Tail of the Dragon. Man, this stuff is just unreal. I think I need to get a bigger bike at some point and bring the wife out here. She would love this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Tail of the Dragon right here, boys and girls. It's gonna take my time. I don't need to be dumping my bike. Not saying I would, but hundreds of miles away, and yeah. I don't know if you guys can read that sign, but it's 11 miles and there's 318 curves. Coming a little too hot in on that one. Too much. It's like another sharp one. crazy. I just watched a video of a guy drifting this. Sport bike come out of nowhere behind me. A lot of cars. Next little turn off spot, I'll pull over there so this guy can go around me. Those little pull-offs kind of sneak up on you. Well, this is one thing crossed off my bucket list to finally do this. Really test your skills on this. All kinds of vehicles. Get the drone out one more time. Do a little flyover. Man, you guys, I don't know if you guys can hear that. If it's picking it up at all, but these guys are ripping through here. Bunch of different cars. Pretty neat. Oh, my buddy David will like that one. Little Miata. Battery's getting low on juice, so go ahead, finish this run out. Hopefully the shop's open by the time I get down there. It should be. I think they're open till 7. I was worried about being too tired to do this from riding all day, but honestly, I'm really excited, and it just woke me up pretty much. I'm very grateful that I'm able to do this. You know, my wife, she encouraged me to to go and do these things. You know, she's at home taking care of the 3 kids. Alright guys, so now that I crossed the tail of the dragon off my bucket list, I think it's time that, I start headed over to my dad's. I got a pretty bit, I think it's 3-4 hours. So as I'm going through the footage from my trip from Michigan to North Carolina to visit my dad, I realized that I never documented pulling up to his house as it was getting late. I was exhausted from the very long 15 hours I had in the seat of my lowrider S. This was my first solo trip, and I decided to do it all in one shot as well as ride on the tail of the dragon, which was an amazing experience.
I hope I can do it again in the near future, but have other trips that I'd like to get planned and explore much more of what the United States has to offer. But as I left the tail of the Dragon, I realized I didn't have any service, so I'm basically traveling blind until I can regain service to pull up a map to get me to my final destination. So as I head down the mountainous road, not knowing where I'm going, swaying back and forth from curve to curve, being caught in all the beauty that I've seen in North Carolina so far, I come across a pretty cool looking restaurant on a little river that I wish I would have captured the moment, but with being in such a time crunch, I didn't have time to stop and check it out. Next time, wherever my adventure is, I will be sure to give myself more time so I'm not rushed through everything. This was basically a last minute decision trip that I'm glad I had the opportunity to go on. Thankful to have such an amazing wife that takes care of things at home so I can follow my dreams. Seeing some rapids was also pretty cool, as I also tried to capture them just by turning my head to grab a little bit of footage on my GoPro. But still heading in a direction unknown, constantly checking my phone for service. Being in the valley of the mountains, I eventually start to come up and get service. And luckily I was heading in the right direction, so I didn't have to turn around and backtrack from the way that I had just come from. So now that I have service, I still had 4 hours left to go until I arrive at my dad's. Continuing onward, going through the Great Smoky Mountains was another great sight to see. Being from Michigan, we don't have much of them around, if any at all, and every time the family and I have traveled, we've always gone through the mountains at night, so it was nice to be able to see them. This has just been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to make my way out west and see what sights there are to see out that way.
Alright, so I just filled up for the last time until I get to my dad's house. I still got 138 miles left. And so far for the total trip, I'm at 830 miles. I won't be getting there until after 10 o'clock. I had it to 9:50, but I was at the gas station talking to my wife for a little while. It is what it is, you know. There ain't going to be much left of the GoPro until after I get to his house. You know, I just really want to appreciate you guys. You know, if you guys watched this all the way through, I had fun, especially going to Tail of the Dragon, crossing that off my bucket list for the bike. I definitely will be coming back. I don't know, maybe I'll even go and do something else. You know, thanks for watching. You know, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, you know, it would really help me out, and I would really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed all the scenery and all that. I know I did. But, you know, as always, you know, keep 2 wheels down, be safe, and I will catch you all on the next one.